Hey everyone, it's Annette. Welcome back to my Wednesday night live stream. I forgot what night, the day of the week this was. Anyway, welcome to my live stream. We are going live tonight and gonna try to make a card, a shaker card. So want to welcome everybody coming in. I see you. Hi, darling. I'm glad you're here. Awesome. Yeah. So the goal is to make a card. That's my goal every Wednesday night. But these are unrehearsed, so anything can happen. And some nights, you know, they don't go very smoothly, but that's okay. That's all right. I think tonight's going to be okay. I did some pre-cutting of things, but let's just switch down to the tabletop camera and we'll get started and see what I'm going to do. So, what is this, you might ask? So tonight I want to show you, we're going to make a shaker card. These are a lot of fun. I'm not great at them, but I made one last week and it went okay. So I wanted to do another one using paper scraps. And if you are a crafter, especially paper crafter, and if you cut paper, you end up with lots of scraps. So I have these little pouches that I keep my scraps in, and some of my scraps are short, some are long strips, as you can see here, and I just keep them, and then I can cut them down and make cards with them. Is it hoarding? Maybe. So anyway, that's what we're doing here. So I took a quarter sheet of cardstock and I just started gluing my strips of paper on this. So I did a lot of it because, you know, you don't need to see me do that all the way, but I'm going to show you how easy this is. So you just take these strips, and I'm just taking some liquid glue and I'm just laying them down randomly, just butting them right up against each other. Let's get the glue out of the way. All right, and then this is just a little silicone mat. I like working on this with liquid glue because the glue dries and then it just comes right off. So, and I'm just going to put another one right up here. I'm going to try my hardest not to get my head underneath my overhead camera because that makes everything kind of wacky and out of focus. And you can make these strips, you know, you can cut them in half so they're thinner, you know, whatever you want. So we're just going to put another one up here. It's a great way to use up scraps. I'm going to put a little bit more glue here because that's going to be the top edge. And we'll just put one more down here. So let's see, I'm reading the comment. I just watched the shaker card one here a little bit ago. I loved it. Oh, okay, yeah, they're a lot of fun. I'm learning. I'm trying to do things a little out of my comfort zone, and shaker cards has always been one of those things. Well, you know, especially not to create one on a live, because you know that could be disastrous. So here I got my panel all covered with paper. I'm just going to turn it over and I'm just going to give it a haircut. I'm just going to go right along and cut off all the ends. And it doesn't have to be perfect because we're going to die cut this panel out a little bit further, but I just kind of want to get the majority of these out of the way. And when I flip it over, you'll see already it's a beautiful panel. I mean, just that alone, you could just put a greeting on here and plop it on a card base and bam, you have a card, right? I could do that tonight and this live stream will be over in about 10 minutes. But we're not going to do that. Okay, so we have our panel. I am going to, let me go ahead and die cut this. So let's bring out the big shot. I'm going to have to pan out a little. And I want to make sure my mouse is out of the way and positioned in a way where I won't bump it. There was another YouTuber that her mouse was positioned right on the end live stream, and she hit the mouse and it just clicked that button and ended her live stream. So she had to restart it, and I'm not that tech savvy, so I don't want to go there. All right, let me just grab something here. So we're going to die cut this panel out, and I'm going to be using GinaKDesigns Master Layouts 2. I'm going to cut a panel here and the shadow layer, which is going to be a black layer. I'm going to do both of those. Now, you don't need these dies to cut panels out. I say this every time. You could just cut your panel. Let's see, my panels are usually 3 3/4 inch by 5 inches, and then my matte layer is usually 4 by 5 1/4. So you can just use a paper trimmer and cut them. But I have these. It makes it a little bit easier. So I'm just going to pull these 2 dies out, and one is a stitched. Let me see if I can get this to the camera. One has stitching and the other one doesn't. The stitching is our panel layer, and we're just going to position it. You can put it anywhere. I am going to. No, I don't think I need to tape it down. I think we're going to be fine. Just going to get that on there somewhat straight and run it through. And everything I'm using I will have in the description below. And I'm going to run that through one more time. Sometimes if you flip it over and run it again, this panel's a little bit thicker with all that paper, so just got to run it through and make sure it cuts all the way through. I'm going to run it back. Oh my goodness, I'm warping everything. Let's see. Hopefully that cut through. I think so, yes. Something went right. We're on a roll. We're on a roll. So there's our panel with the nice stitched die, stitched border. So we'll set that aside. I could save this piece and use it as a frame for another card. I might do that. There we go again. I'm saving paper. Add it to the heap. All right, let me get this back up here. And we will cut the matte layer out while we're at it. Make sure that's on there. How's everybody doing out there? It's starting to cool down here in Central Ohio, although tonight it's a little bit humid in my house for some reason. All right, so there's the matte layer behind the panel, and I am not going to save that piece. We are done with Master Layouts 2, and I think I'm done with this. Pretty sure I am. I always say I am, and then it comes out later, but I'm pretty sure we're done with that. So, get this out of the way. And then the next thing I want to do is I'm going to bring out my tacky sticky mat from Simonsaysstamp, and this is just a photopolymer piece. It's the same material that the stamps are made out of, but it's just kind of like a grippy stick mat that you can stick to your surface, and it really works well for ink blending little pieces of die cuts, which I have this butterfly. I know a lot of you, and I know Darlene is out there watching, and she likes butterflies, and I did not plan this, but I love this die from Simonsaysstamp. It's called Exquisite Butterfly, and I've already die cut it out, but I want to show you. It's 2 dies, and this die here cuts out 2 pieces, the top wings and the bottom wings, and then this piece cuts out the little center, and then these 4 sections. So I did this ahead of time, and I used this fun, like, gray, sparkly, charcoal color glitter paper that was just in my scrap bin. I don't know where it's from, but here's all the little pieces that it cut out. So we have, I'm going to put it over here so maybe you can see that little body with the antenna, and then the little glitter wing accents, and then the top wing and the bottom wing. So these I die cut out in white, but I want to kind of position them on my sticky mat, and I'm going to ink blend these. And I think I didn't even get my colors out. Oh my goodness. Okay, I think I want to do some kind of yellow and some kind of orange. Hang on. I did not prepare for this. Let's do this is bright. Oh my gosh, my lighting here is just washing everything out. Let me see if I can adjust this a little bit. Let me go down a little bit on this light. It's making me in the corner dark, but I don't care. Oh, anyway. That is what it is. So this is, I'm going to definitely use this white, or this yellow. It's called Wild Dandelion from Gina K. So I'm getting comments on this wallpaper back here. This is, these are decals. These are peelable. You can peel them off and reposition them. And I can't remember where I got them, the company I got them from, but I can put that in the description after the live stream. But yeah, they come in all kinds of patterns and colors and even black and white, but they're really cool. And when I switch to my full screen, let me switch, you can really see them. I really like these. I love the white ones. But yeah, these just peel right off, and they're like a vinyl sticker. Okay, back to crafting. So this is not the orange I want. Here it is. Got it. Okay. This is what I want. I want to use yellow and this orange, which is not showing up at all on camera. It looks very faded, but this is bright orange. This is called Tangerine Twist. So let me grab some little blending brushes. I need an orange and my yellow. Okay. All right, let's grab those. I'll move this guy out of the way and move these up here. And let's start with the yellow, the Wild Dandelion. And yeah, I didn't get those decals on my wall that long ago, but I can't remember. This is not sticking very well, which I think I need to wash this mat with just some soapy water and let it dry. But anyway, let me just do one at a time. I'm just going to ink blend some color. I'm going to go kind of heavy in the middle and blend it out. Go ahead and zoom in closer. And we'll do the same here. And I want to leave a little bit of light on the ends because that kind of gives it a glowy look. And then we'll do the Tangerine Twist somewhere. I think I'll just maybe do the upper wings, kind of like the edges. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to go down here too because that gold glitter, or not gold, but the charcoal glitter cardstock is going to go over these as an accent. And I think that's all I need to do. I've not done this before. I've not made this butterfly before, so we're doing it live. We're doing it together. And we'll just see. We'll see how it turns out. So let me get this out of the way. Bring this back in. And bring these pieces in. Now, I'm going to bring in my glue. And this is where we have to put this guy together. And I think first I'm going to put, I think this is how you do it. I'm going to glue the body on, and I think that connects the two. So I'm just using some liquid glue here right down the center. And I probably don't need it at the bottom, just in the middle. Okay. I don't know if I should have done that first or these doodads, but we're gonna see. Let's see. How does this go? Excuse me. All right, that definitely doesn't go there. Okay, there we go. I told you I haven't practiced this. All right, getting a little bit of glue down. And get that down. Usually my brothers are in on this live stream. They must both be busy tonight. They always leave nice, colorful comments in the chat. All right, so we'll put this one up here. Let's get it kind of right on the edge. And that's what we have so far. I'm not, it's pretty delicate. I hope it, the idea I have is I'm gonna glue it onto the shaker card, but I wanted to kind of bend the wings up without it falling apart. We'll see. We'll see how that goes. And that one will go down there. I was debating on making this butterfly like pink and purples because I really like those colors, and or like blues and purples, kind of like galaxy colors. But I thought I would go this way just to make it look real bright. I don't think that this is supposed to go. I think I'm supposed to glue these two pieces together. I'm actually just going to run some glue on the back. Just kind of blend it out to give it some support. But there's the butterfly. Okay. Yes, Bob Ross always said there are no mistakes, just happy accidents. I make a lot of happy accidents. All right, so there's the happy accident butterfly. Okay, and so my camera has decided to go out of focus, and I don't know why. So let's see if we're totally out of focus. Let me see. Now I have to be a tech person. Ah, there we go. It corrected itself. That was a happy accident. Oh my gosh. Okay. Moving on. And we are going to move the butterfly way over here. In fact, I am going to keep him on this mat because he's still a little bit wet. And so we're going to bring this panel back in. And like I said, I thought I was done with the die cutting machine, but I'm not. I'm not done. So out we go. Zoom back out. I need to make the shaker window, okay, for our card. And so let's bring this back in. For the shaker window, I am just using these, I think they're from Hero Arts, and they are Circle Infinity dies, and I'm using this one. I know I'm using this one because it's loose, because I use it a lot for these shaker windows, but I just want to kind of decide. So this is going to be put together like this, and I can decide where I want the window. I can put it right in the middle. I can put it up a little bit. I got to remember, this guy is going to go somewhere. So I think I might put the shaker window, well, I think I'll just put it in the center, but up a little ways. So you do want to position it. And I want to keep in mind, because this kind of happened last week, where I build up the back of this panel with shaker strips. I want to have enough space on either side of the circle that I can put a strip down each side. So I'm gonna position this right like that. If that tape will, I've used this tape so many times that it's really not that sticky anymore. But I'm gonna see if I can get one more use out of it. And we are gonna run that through. Get everything straight here. I'm going to run it through twice. Hopefully it cut all the way through. So let's, I think that looks fine. Yeah. Yep. So I'm just going to carefully remove this. Remove this tape. And I think this tape has seen better days, so I am not saving it. And then this little circle, I'm going to keep that for another card project because I could use that. I might even use it with the leftover frame. You know, that could make a fun little card and put a you know, a greeting on here, like a hello or something like that. So here's what we have. And now I'm pretty sure I'm done with this die cutting machine, but not 100% sure, but pretty sure. All right, so let's move him and bring this down. I think we're done with that. I'm gonna come back in. All right, so the next step is I have these clear acetate sheets from Recollections, and this I just got at Michael's, and I just cut a piece that is a little bit smaller than this panel, and I thought I did, so obviously it's a little bit larger, a little bit wider, so I'm going to cut this down just a little bit, okay? And you just want it to cover the window and not extend out, okay, outside of the panel. So we will go ahead and, I know it's a little bit hard to see, but I'm just going to go ahead and get some tape runner and just run some tape runner right along each side. And then we'll take our little sheet and clean it first of all. Make sure it's clean. And we will drop it down. Okay. So we just need that to stick to the back, and then we have our little window there. Okay. Moving along. Next, we have, let's use the shaker strips. Let's put those on. Yeah, we're going to need to build up the sides. So these shaker strips are what I really love, and this really worked well last week. GinaKDesigns shaker strips. These strips are really, really nice because they will stick to, they're sticking to each other right now. Let me get rid of that. The sides are not sticky. Come on. The sides are not sticky, so the shaker bits won't stick to the edges, which is really important. Most strips do have sticky edges, and then the shaker bits just stick, and then it's just a mess. So what I want to do first is go around the perimeter of the panel, because I want a nice clean edge all the way around. So we'll do that. Save the extra piece. Go this way. Just go all the way. Let's go this way. And you just want these long pieces on the outer edge, because, you know, you can see that on the side of the card, and you want like one continuous piece versus all these little pieces stuck together, and then you see all the lines in between, and it's just a little bit neater to do it this way. Trust me, my first shaker cards, they were all bits and pieces, and it just, you know, it is what it is. You live and learn, right? You live and learn. And then I'm just going to take these little bits and go around the window. And I do want those pieces to meet each other. I don't want any gaps because I don't want the shaker bits to be flying all around this card. I just want it contained in the window area. And I'm curving these, which obviously you can do. Just make sure that they are snug up with each other. That one, the paper backing came off, so let me get rid of these little pieces. Go ahead and, oh my goodness, I don't know what has happened. These are really, really stuck to each other. I must not have put them in the packaging, put them away very well, because they're kind of all mashing together. Okay. And then, so I have the window contained. And then I just want to kind of build up these other areas. All right, what else? It says these acetate pieces, they can be cleaned like with just regular window cleaner, or do you use water? I use water. I just use water. I don't know if you can use like window cleaner or acetate, or not acetate. What am I thinking? Rubbing alcohol. I'm not sure if you can use rubbing alcohol. It might eat through it, but they're pretty clean. It's just they get a little smudged, so a little bit of water goes a long way. All right, so let's continue to build up these areas here so there's no dips. Just put a piece in there and a piece in here. And one here. I'm just going to make sure all of these are down, and then you can just turn it over. Let me put that where you can see it. I like to turn it over and just make sure there's no areas where it's dipping, and that seems pretty good. All right, now the next piece, we're going to put shaker bits in it, but before I do that, I want to peel the paper backing off. That way, if I bump it, these shaker bits aren't going to go everywhere. So I'm just going to make sure everything is stuck down, and then we will peel all these little backers off. Oh goodness, this is what that takes the longest time, but you know, just go all the way around, and then where you want to be careful is when you put the shaker bits on. You just really want to be careful not to bump this panel. They'll go flying everywhere. Trust me. Did I get all those? I think I have two more. One here. And this one. Okay. I believe that's it. All right. Then, let me get these bits and pieces. I want to go ahead and put some liquid glue around the these strips, because this will give me a little bit of float time when I put the cardstock backer on here. Okay. And we're not going to do the matte layer. I have another piece of cardstock that I've cut, and it'll give us a nice design through the window. So this is just a piece of pattern paper. It's really hard to see with my lighting. There we go, I think. Oh, my lighting is so messed up right now. But it's just kind of like a peachy background with some white lines. All right, so here are the shaker bits, and this is from Simonsaysstamp, and it's called Autumn Sky. Okay. And I'm just going to carefully shake them into the window. Carefully, Annette. Take your time. No matter what I do. There we go. So we'll just get them into the window. Get back there. Come on, you. There we go. All right. And I don't think, I was going to add some of these, but I don't think I'm going to. I think I have enough. I think we're good. And then we're just going to take this panel. It's the double-sided, but I want the light side. And we're just going to lay it down and drop it and get that stuck to the shaker. And then we have a nice shaker window. And it's working. Those little bits are not sticking to the foam, so that's good. And if you have a little bit hanging over the edge, you can just go in and cut that down. And it's not going to hurt anything. Okay, so I just trimmed that a little bit. And then I am going to go ahead and adhere this to the card mat layer. So we'll go ahead and do that. I'm getting better at these shaker cards. I don't know that I'm going to make another one anytime soon, though. Oh, this is hard to see. Let me get that over here. All right. There you go. And we'll just drop that down. It's just a very subtle shadow layer. Okay, and while that's drying, I want to show you a really neat trick. I'm going to show you what I did with the sentiment I'm going to use. So I am going to use this stamp set from GinaKDesigns called Ocean Silhouettes, and I'm going to be using Let's Celebrate. So I don't have a coordinating die for this stamp, so you know, you can fussy cut it, you can just stamp it and, you know, cut around it, but I found a way to use this circle window plate from Gina K. Let me show you what I did. I took this circle plate and I cut it with a piece of white cardstock. Let me get it out of here. And it was actually just scrap because I only wanted it to use as a template. So, you know, this is just scrap paper, but I just wanted to use it as a template, like I said. So I'm just going to stick this into my stamping platform and stick it down. And then when you cut this out, you get these little circles, right? You see where I'm going with this? So you can put the circle and get that stuck down. You can just put it right in that area, and then you can take your stamp and line it up. And I'm gonna have to bring this down here so I can see here. So you can just line it up right into that circle and put that back in there. And where's my ink? We're just gonna use some Gina K black Onyx and just ink that stamp up. And it stamps it perfectly onto that circle. And the nice thing is you can stamp it twice if you need to. And just like that, you have your greeting. Pretty easy, so I'm saving this template. It's an easy way to line up your greetings on a circle die. And you can just, you can use any circle. You don't need to have this plate. You can just use like those nesting circle dies that I showed you earlier. You can just cut out, on cardstock and just use that as your template. Okay. I'm a little worried about this butterfly. I'm not gonna lie. He's very fragile. So I'm just wondering if I glued it correctly or not. I'm not sure. We're gonna find out. So I'm bringing in my USA2 side folding card base. I'm gonna glue down this shaker card, okay? And get him down right in the middle. Okay, we're gonna give him a little press here for a minute. All right, so all we have left is this, and maybe, I think what I'm going to do is pop him up. I do have some foam squares, so maybe that'll help stabilize this guy. I'm going to put a foam square right in the middle, and do I want any more? Because I really want his wings to be able to bend. I think I'm just going to do one in the middle. Okay. And where do I want to put this? So now I just want to see about placement. I kind of like that. I just kind of just like it the way it is right there. So let's go ahead and put some glue on this. You don't need to, it is adhesive, but I just like to give it a little bit of extra support. And we'll put the butterfly right there. Okay, then let's see, we'll maybe put this up like that. So I just really just need some glue in the middle here. Let's go ahead and put that right there. Then what I was wanting to do is I'm going to hold this down and just bend these wings up a little bit. Hope for the best. There. So now you can see this butterfly comes up off of the card a little bit, and that's kind of what I was shooting for. But there is a nice little shaker card using a bunch of scrap paper, this exquisite butterfly die, which was kind of fun, easy to do. I think next time I might glue, kind of just overlap these wings a little bit just to give them some stability. But that's it. We did it. Made another shaker card. All right, so that is the finished card project. As always, I'll take photos of this and I'll post them on my YouTube channel under the post tab section. I won't be able to do that until tomorrow because it takes YouTube a little bit of time to process the video, but sometime tomorrow I'll have nice pictures of this card on the channel. If you enjoyed this, I hope you consider giving me a like. If you're not subscribed, subscribe to my channel, hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next video. I do a live every Wednesday night at 7 p.m. and I have a scheduled video every Sunday at 1 p.m. Those times are Eastern. And that's it. Until then, I want to thank you for watching and have a great week.